everybody, it's PJ on my way to work. Work. Yo. Yo. So anyway, I have 2 videos that I have to do. I was supposed to do this morning at home, but they call me in to come to work because people's kids are sick. It's always their kids are sick. Like, I have young girls, and like, I don't know how they get along in other companies because we're so lenient, but like, your kids are sick constantly. It's like, oh my God. But we're really lenient about it because, I don't know, because I'm the boss. So I ended up having to come in this morning when I wasn't supposed to come in until much later. So, I was supposed to do 2 videos this morning because I got all dialed up, ready to go. And no, didn't happen. And I can't seem to make these things happen. I wish my life wasn't so crazy, but it really is. It really is. It's like I get a couple hours break. And honestly, like, I'm tired. I know, but I'm old, man. I'm like 60 years old. Like, I go. I work 7 days a week. Like, I ask you all something. How the hell is it November already? How is it Christmas? How? So I'm going home to rewatch The Walking Dead because apparently I missed something at the end because we all talk about it when we get to work. Like, everybody's a Walking Dead. Not everybody, but a lot of people are. And they were saying that somebody said, you like, don't lose them, and that it's the whisperers. So I want to see. I don't know if y'all are Walking Dead fans. I'm such a Walking Dead fan. I love that show. And now they're going to do movies. Oh my God. Like, World War Z was a great book, but it did not transfer into a movie. I mean, it was an okay movie, typical zombie movie, but World War Z as a book was all about, like, different countries and how they handled, like, the zombie apocalypse, which was so good. Like, all the different technologies that they used and stuff. And you really didn't get that. He went around to different countries and stuff, but you didn't get, like, the technology of everything. And it didn't just go to like 3 countries. In the book, you're going to all these different countries, Japan, China, all this place, to see how they handled the zombie apocalypse. And I thought that was really interesting. I really love the book, World War Z. Way better than the movie. But the movie was still okay. But Walking Dead is so good. Because sometimes, do you ever want the apocalypse to happen? I'm like, let's just apocalypse out already. And I would probably die, though. I would not be a survivor. I'd be like, what do you mean I can't have my lipstick? Where's my crystals? What's for dinner? I'm too much of a Jap for that shit. Porcelain. What do you mean I have to pee in the woods? That I would say. When I was first married, my husband's kind of like woodsy, and I wasn't. I like the woods to walk in, that's about it. But he was like real woodsy. He grew up on a mountain, so he was like, let's take the boys out to the country to live. And I was like, yeah, I'm from Philly. So he took me out to this one place, right? And the lady was like, I said, where's the bus get you? Like, where's the L? Where's all the bus stops? And they were like, And the woman says to me, listen, young lady, to live out here, you need to have a car, and it best be 4-wheel drive. I looked at my husband like, what? It's really cold today. It even looks cold. Like, it doesn't even, like, my hands are freezing right now. So I go to get gas, and the stupid gas thing won't take my card. 60 times I had to put it on a credit card, which totally blows. Like, I don't want to pay interest on fucking gas. So dumb. My hands are so cold, and then I only got $13 worth because I was freezing. So spoiled. See what I mean? So I wouldn't make it in an apocalyptic journey at all. Who knows? Maybe I'd turn into, you know, that chick from Terminator, like she turned into this badass. Maybe I turned into a badass. More likely I'd lay down and cry and say, probably overdose. So I didn't have to deal with the destruction. Like, kind of cool, like, to see everything go away, because it gets to be so much. The government right now is so much, and like all this hate shit we're dealing with. It feels like too big for us as just little people to do much about. I mean, I'm an old hippie. This is not the way we think, you know. We're like sex, drugs, and rock and roll type people. And then you get this, and it's like, what? A lot of people from work went to Tony Robbins this weekend. They came back like cult members. They like drank the Kool-Aid, man. That's cool. Like, it's supposed to really uplift you. It's like The Secret on steroids. They come back with a very I can do anything attitude. But the reason why I didn't go was it was 12-hour days. The sessions were 12 hours each day. What? I'm sorry. What did you want me to do for 12 hours? And they are like up and down in the seats and this and that. Like, it just sounded like a lot for me. Like, my little body would be like, again, I would not make it in the apocalypse because I didn't think I would make a 12-hour Tony Robbins seminar without some sort of help from my chemist. The two people that went, neither one of them have a voice today because they were just screaming, yeah, you know, that kind of thing. That's cool. I'm happy for them. If they found something in it, I know she said at one point they tear you down, like they want you to look at like your worst self, I guess, and then from that, you know, what would you say to your worst self if you're still your worst self in 2 years? And because you're supposed to like write down the things you hate about yourself. It's supposed to give you a bunch of self-love. I know that didn't sound like it, but then I guess they come on the other side of that saying like, on the other side of it, they say things like, okay, and now what are you going to do to make sure that these things are changed about yourself? Here's the problem with that with me too, is I'm such a fucking narcissist. I'm like, I don't need to change anything. I'm sure I do, but I don't know what, because I pretty much enjoy myself. Like, if I could change something about myself, let me think, if I could change something about myself. Okay, I wish I could get more physically fit. I used to literally sit by the window. First off, I get up at the crack of dawn. I can't sleep. So I get up at like 6 every morning. I used to wake up with the birds 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, and I would go out and make coffee, and I would watch the thermometer, the outside thermometer, because if it was 50 and above and it wasn't raining, I would be on, or super windy, I'd be on the tennis court. And that was the most physical I ever was when we had those tennis courts. And I was out there like literally, unless it snowed, rain, or was below 50 degrees. So I was out there a ton, like a ton. And I went every day. I loved it. And I lived there. So I would just wait. And then I'd get my ball machine out of the garage and walk it on over to the courts. And I would play against my ball machine, or I would take, you know, like 200 balls, and I would like have a ball basket, and I would just serve and serve and serve. I love to serve and serve and serve and serve and stuff like that. And that was so physically good for me. And I went through a health crisis for a little while, and I never could get back to it. I never, well, and then Jeff died eventually, but I mean, I never got back to it even after the health scare, because I was so weak after the health scare thing. I don't want to go into that. I was like, oh my God, like, now that then once I got out of it, then Jeff died, and then I was just like stuck with nothing physical to do. See, exercising just to move your body just feels dumb without a purpose. But if I'm learning how to play tennis, then I have a purpose. Like, that's how I am mentally. So I need somebody to play with, like maybe indoor courts or something, to get my physical health back. So that's one thing. 2, what's the second thing I want to do? I want to stop committing. I commit to so much, and then I really beat myself up when I can't do it. I commit to you guys. I commit to work. I work 7 days a week. And then, you know, like my life, like my personal life, takes a back seat to that because I have all these commitments. And I take them so seriously. There's something about, like, if somebody else cancels on me about a commitment, you know, unless they do it all the time, I'm not pissy about it. But if I have to do it, like, I'm like, no, like, my brain doesn't like that. It's like, no, you have to do this commitment. Like, you said you would do it, so you have to do it, like that. And it's like some guilt thing with me. Or why do I hold myself to that much higher of a standard? Even when I'm working with people that don't hold themselves with that. Like other people in my work and whatnot, they're like, just not going to do it. But me, I'm like, how can you just not do, like, if you say you're going to do it, then do it. If you say you're going to be there, then be there. That type of thing. So it's really hard for me to wrap my head around giving myself a break. Like just saying, no, you can't. Like, okay, so I told you guys about the advice thing, and then I got sick. And I was okay to say, okay, I'm sick, because the reason why I was okay to say I'm sick, honestly, was because I was afraid I would read wrong for you or badly, because I felt like, oh, like my head was so crazy bad. So I like felt like, oh, I'm not going to be clear enough to read well for them. And that is not excusable to me, you know. I don't want to give people advice from stuff I'm reading that isn't good. So I kind of put that. Okay, good. You're on the back burner. Now, I started the video, so I've already erased that because I didn't like the way it started. So I'm going to restart the video. But the fact that I know I have to do that is driving me bananas. Like, I have all these other videos that I can make, but I'm like, no, not until you make the advice video, which is one I have to, like, prepare for differently. So it's so weird. So I wish I knew how to make a commitment and like either always stick to your commitment, like no matter what, even if you're sick, because I could have done it. I was home. I was so afraid to be shitty. And then, or don't make the commitment. Be able to say no. I rarely say no to people that I care about. It's gotten to the point where when somebody says, hey, can you do me a favor? I say, what's the favor first? Because I always say yes, and then I feel like even if I said yes to a ridiculous favor, I have to stick to it. I know, it's my own guilty weirdness. I know. So that's that. And sometimes I can go the other way. Sometimes I can have something so minor, like, okay, so I bought these little cans of paint to see what color paint I want on the wall in the media room, in the room where I videotape. And I did all I had to do was paint 3 swatches to see which one I liked. And like, I put it off for a month. I'm like, yeah, I'll get through it. Yeah, I'll get through it. I don't know why I do that. Like, what's the point? Like, just go swatch the damn wall. And I would say to myself, just go swatch the fucking wall. Like, nope. So finally, my friend Carrie, you've met her, she is repainting her bedroom. And she like painted 2 walls. And I was like, okay, I started talking about paint before Carrie, and Carrie's painted 2 walls, and I haven't even picked the color yet. Go get the goddamn color. So I finally did it on Sunday. I was like, let me take 15 minutes out and do this. But I'm just such a procrastinator about dumb stuff, little stuff, you know. I have to get a pack and play, right? By this weekend, because I get the new baby. Yeah. So I'm getting excited. I have to get a pack and play. Just go get a pack and play. Like, what am I waiting for? I don't know. Just down to the last minute on the pack and play. So dumb. Anyway, so those are 3 things I would change about myself. All having to do with commitment. Yeah. So anyway, guys, tell me what would you change about yourself? You could go to Tony Roberts and change 3 things about yourself. 3 things. What's the 3 things you would change about yourself? Put it down here. I'm dying to know. I wonder if they're like me. Like everybody's like, yep, procrastinator, yep, then, you know, yep, feel guilty if you overcommit. I've never found that balance, which is why I either procrastinate or feel guilty. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go. I love you. I'm going to get to this video. I'm sorry it's taken me so long. I'll get there. I love you guys. Bye.